Yes, I will.
God. You say you want to stay out of the troubles.
Aye.
If you can prove it.
I'll become a member.
Until you prove it, the answer's no.
No.
No. No.
Didn't I just prove it?
No.
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 What up? Hope everybody's doing okay. Happy Sunday. You like that? Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, I'm doing well. Woke up this morning and one of well actually the eldest dog had locked himself in the bathroom downstairs and he already struggles getting up, so he must have been struggling for a while. So we had a bit of a scare, but we nursed him back and he seems to be back to his old self for the most part. Mel Gibson. Yeah, I'm a fan too. Thank you, Beth. Tam, what's up? What are you guys all up to today? Definitely got some yard work in my future later in the evening. So I'm looking forward to that. You got those fat fingers. So what's the word? Shout out to Philly. Philly's in the house. Motown Philly back again. Ding. Your blood pressure. Oh yeah, I switched up my diet. I'm glad I did too. Should have did that a long time ago. Nice. Family time's always good. Calibrating your keyboard, huh? I knew you were a hacker. Tam's watching that college football. Chilling. Oh, you went to mass? Oh yeah, that's what I was going to ask you guys if you wanted to talk about that. Man, he's smarter than I thought he was going to be. The dude's pretty clever. I guess he's on the run now. He's in a van, and it's a nationwide search. He's clean shaven. Have you seen that? Yeah, let me see if I can grab an image. He's like clean cut now. It's like a scene straight out of Fugitive. We got a young Harrison Ford on our hands here, apparently. It wasn't me, it was a one-armed man. See if I can find something very recent here. What's up, Vanilla? Shout out to Red River. Shout out to Texas. Tall Man said they had a perimeter all night and he wasn't even there. He's been gone since yesterday. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's pretty slick. You just got to kind of, I would reach out. Hopefully, they're getting an idea from his family where he might be headed. You know, it doesn't mean that he's going to be headed to his family, but they might give him an idea of what might be going on in his mind, you know. Yeah, he looks completely different. He's a wascally wabbit. Oh, here's a good one. Hold on. Let me take a little screen grab of this. That way we can zoom in on it. All right, now let me grab the one the before. Yeah, he looks completely different. He looks younger too, unless he just actually looks older in these in the previous photos. Tall Man said he showed up at his sister's friend's. That's where the Ring doorbell is of him smirking. Yep. He needs resources. He needs food, water, clothing. He needs to shave. He needs transportation. Oh, wow. Tallman says they called the PSP last night to report it, and the PSP said it wasn't him. 4 hours later, the U.S. Marshals came back, and facial recognition confirmed it was him. Wow. That's pathetic. I mean, they all should have been assuming he would be changing his appearance, right? Yep, this is the same guy. This bottom left one is the one that threw me off. Thought it was Alex Voorhees. I was like, oh, he's at it again. But the nose. There's like this dark mark. See that? Like a freckle or something. Yikes. 10 minutes away from where he committed his murder, really? Is that true? 45 minutes away from where they had the perimeter set up last night. Yeah, he's long gone. He's probably ditched the van. I haven't seen an image of the van. That's the first thing we should have seen is an image and the license plate. Everywhere. What's up, Don? Presser at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. What time? Eastern? What's up, CJ? It's just pathetic he got out and stole a van. Bad look for law enforcement. Yeah, all around. Either that or this dude's just super quick and he might be calculating and very, the timing of everything. Or they're just incompetent. Hey, he looks way different. That's probably what law enforcement said. They're like, nope. They have the van. It's currently being towed, I believe. Yeah, he ditched it. He's already got a new car. Where'd they find it, V? Thank you for that. They have the van, apparently. Let's see. Let's take a look. I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, I'm not finding anything about them finding the van. says here during the late evening and overnight hours, Cavalcante was reportedly seen in the northern Chester County near Phoenixville. Let's see. The latest sightings coincided with two other notable developments. And I believe that's the van and him changing his appearance. Yeah, I'm not finding anything yet. They'll probably be presenting that at the press conference. Eastern time? Okay. $2 p.m. All right, so we might actually be able to catch that. So basically, like in 30 minutes. If anybody has a link to that, go ahead and post it up if you guys want to watch it. Looks like we might be ending the live stream with that, depending how long it is. Yeah, you would think so. Or he may have met somebody. You know, hey, meet me here. Pick me up. Because he needs resources. He needs help. So if I were the investigators, I'd be asking family members and friends, like, who would he be getting help from? Who would help him outside of this place or near this area? Who might reach out to him? Ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, old school friend, you know, old business partner, old golfing buddy. I got some old golfing buddies I could call up. Tall Man says, I've heard a YouTuber live streaming not last night, but the night before, caught the van on camera. Okay. Leaving a church parking lot, following another vehicle. Boom. There you go. Unless he was getting ready to carjack somebody, I don't know. But he's probably meeting up with somebody. So whoever's in that other vehicle is probably somebody that he knows. Shit, I'm sure JLR has probably already beat the guy there. That dude's everywhere. Say what you want about the guy, but he's always there. You got to give him something for that. Don says they had bloodhounds 100 years ago. Surely they had items on his cell phone with his scent. Yeah, but they also didn't have like vans with V8 motors. I'm sure they can use it to determine what direction he went. But I was looking at the Summer Wells case, and anytime you kind of change the terrain, confuses the dogs. Yes, I heard he is on foot in Phoenixville where they filmed The Blob. That's a good movie. Is that really where they filmed it? Phoenixville? Nice tidbit. Yeah, catch and release. What's more unbelievable is that you guys voted for it. You know, these things don't happen. People put these people in power. And then they start making that kind of shit up. Don says law enforcement by the hundreds just sat in their cars all around the perimeter like they were scared of this guy. He was trapped on foot. He's a desperate man. But you think they would create a perimeter and then still be patrolling? You know what I mean? And making phone calls and going door to door. I would even have like some people just walking in plain clothes, you know? Maybe even creeping through alleys and shit in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. Because I'm sure that's what he's going to do. He's going to hide, sleep during the day. Then at night, he's going to pop up and then make a move. CJK says, that's interesting about the dogs. So, yeah, I thought it was interesting as well. Because they said the dogs followed Summerwell's scent down this hill. And then as soon as it hit the road, they're not saying that, you know, there was somebody in a vehicle taking her. They're saying it's very well that she could have crossed the road. But there's no way to determine because the dog will lose the scent. That's interesting. I thought that was a really good movie. It creeped me out. Don Halford, not me, Orange Man good. Did somebody say something about Orange Man? Did he steal a work truck or not? I don't know. Last I heard it was a van. And now what I'm hearing is he ditched the van. V is saying it's reported he stole a dairy work van. So it was not a work truck, but a work van. Not me. I voted Orange Man. Good. Ha. Yeah, I don't think she was talking about the Orange Man because I voted for the Orange Man. I'm going to vote for him again for the third time. How about that? Beach is saying, did any of you see the ridge where a child's bare footprint was found? No confirmation it was Summer, but not disproven either. I think Don shows where in a video. Yeah, we showed that video during the members meeting. He actually takes a reporter down there and is kind of trying to explain it all. Yep. V says it's already been ditched. So he's either on foot or he met up with somebody or he's, he has another vehicle. A warehouse van, apparently. Ooh, shout out to Alabama. Don says he was in botanical gardens, empty, evacuated, not in a residential neighborhood. Send dogs in. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying with such a small perimeter, yeah, that should, yeah, for sure. I thought you meant like now. Yeah, at the beginning, they should have just went out there with bloodhounds. You're right about that. I mean, I don't even know if people have bloodhounds anymore. Hey, what's up, Cheeks? We gonna have a West Memphis 3 series now. We've been talking about them a good amount and saw you mention it in a comment a few days ago. Yeah, When I put up all the information for the next members meeting, if that's what you guys want to do, I'm down. I watched all 3 of them just this week. It's a tough one. I hope the Delphi case doesn't turn into anything like that. Thank goodness for that video. Shout out to Libby. The news clip I just watched interviewed the homeowner. He flipped the light switch thinking someone was in his home, and this dude flipped the light switch back at him from the kitchen. Dang. Yeah, that would have been the end of his life in my house. You just would have heard the light switch and then a pop. Vanilla Gorilla bloodhounds are still a thing. I work with them a bit. Oh, really? How so? Don Halliford said, "You said we voted for catch and release, no Sleepy Joe." Who said we voted? No, when I say we, I mean we the people. We're all Americans. See? You're projecting. So those people who complain about the laws and things like that in their area, you know, can only blame your own community. Unless it's rigged, right? But that's a conspiracy. Cheek says, yeah, I hope Delphi's nothing like that. But yeah, West Memphis 3 is my favorite case when it comes to sleuthing. So many twists. Honestly, I could talk about it all day. Yeah, because it's really a human experiment, kind of like Delphi. I mean, you had people early on who tried to say that it never even happened, that a small town with help of the powerful people all the way to the top were creating this strange conspiracy for whatever motivation. I'm not quite sure. Dinah Jackson. Actually, you're 31 minutes and 56 seconds. But it's all good. A song in Chinese just interrupted Sleuth's live. What the hell was that? I couldn't get it off. They're taking over. Farmer says, I keep telling my scared lib friends the Second Amendment applies to them as well. Yeah, man. Don't get me started. If they can't see it with their own eyes, they'll never see it. Never, ever. Exactly, Farmer. Exactly. Exactly. But it may be too late. Who knows? We'll see. Let's see. What is this? Rare darkness, 1 gram flour, sativa. So I think I deserve a smoke. I'm bilingual. There's a difference. So what's new? You guys been staying safe on those YouTube streets? Can be dangerous out there. Ken Gale, what's up? Everyone is tired of high gas and grocery prices. All right. So who do we thank for that? You know, can't blame our president. He didn't put himself into power. Oh, thanks, Beach Fairy. Said, oh, I like the Idaho video today, too. Who thinks he'll convince people with his alibi? You know what? I was going to play that right now. I have it right here next to intro for the check-in Idaho 4 short movie. Here, let me close. Let me go ahead and create a poll here. Give me a minute. Vanilla Gorilla says, I'm trilingual. I try to talk shit in many languages. Yeah, I know all the curse words. That's funny. How many thumbs ups do we have? We got 43 people watching. And there's only 22? Dang, that's Scrubville. Okay, just give me one moment. I'm going to throw this poll up here. All righty, guys. Jump all over that. We'll let that hang around for about 5-10 minutes. Did you know that 5 is pimp in Welsh? That's pretty pimp. I mean, 5. I mean, pimp. 5 pimps. That's interesting. Dinah Jackson. If only that wonderful couple would have had a gun before that animal started chewing on. Oh, I know. And even then, you know, they may have not seen it coming. They were in their own garage. You want to talk about random? And didn't we find out that this guy drank a bunch of weird chemicals like bleach and all this? I don't know. Like he may have tried to off himself, and then he went completely insane. So I just don't know how you see that coming. Don says, I apologize. I love participating on your channel and everyone in chat. Oh, you don't have to apologize. Good one, Don. Release the hounds. Smithers. That's a good one. Beach Fairy says pointless language to learn, though. I don't think Koberger has an alibi. I don't know what his play is going to be, but so far, him and defense have tried everything they can to slow the process. That's for sure. All right, right now we got 13 votes. And how many people we got in here? Like 48. All right, we'll play the quick video and then we'll come back to the poll after. Sorry, I had to reset it. What is up, Sleuth crew? Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. Brian Koberger, the 28-year-old, accused of stabbing 4 students to death near the University of Idaho last year, is hinting at a possible alibi. His defense plans to prove that he was somewhere other than the King Road crime scene. His defense team was quoted as saying, Koberger's full alibi will be displayed pursuant to the discovery and evidentiary rules as well as statutory requirements. He has a constitutional right to silence as well as to testify on his own behalf. I really never considered the possibility of him being set free. And if that was to happen, is that justice for Koberger? How do they plan to explain the DNA found at the crime scene while explaining the so-called alibi? Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace out. All right, guys, let's hit that poll up. Let's talk about this. It's a good question, right? If he's studying serial killers and he's learning from their mistakes, do you think he may have tried to put in place like a false alibi? Think that's possible? Okay, so who thinks Brian Koberger will actually have a convincing alibi? And in the comments, let me know if you think he will have a convincing alibi. How are they going to explain the DNA in the sheath? But right now, the poll question, who thinks Brian Koberger will actually have a convincing alibi? 76% said no. 12% say yes. And I don't know because I just don't see how it's possible. 12% said not sure. All right, let's talk about this. Let's go to the chat. I'm going to end the poll now. You guys should be able to see those results. Stephanie says, you think he's guilty? I do, yeah. From what I can see, we did a whole live stream and went through the whole probable cause affidavit. We read it word for word. It was extremely convincing. Was it his car? I think it was most definitely his car. I think that's how they found him originally. Yeah, I didn't hear about any DNA or anything like that found in the vehicle. Stephanie says, if he had an alibi, why not give it to cops when he got arrested? Koberger has no alibi. Driving around at night alone is not an out. No, because that's what the killer might have been doing. Or what the killer was most likely doing was driving around alone at night. So if that's his alibi, it makes him even look more guilty. For sure. It's like Bundy in court proclaiming how he'll be found innocent. Koberger is quiet about it, but same energy. Like he's smarter and will win and will try anything to worm out of it. I don't know. He's just not as outgoing, but I do think he's the type of personality who is kind of cocky and might be like, ooh, I have a something up my sleeve type, you know? Like wait till you guys see this one. And maybe even something even after that. Because I see a whole lot of signs of immense pre-planning. Remember that shit he did to one of his classmates? He terrorized her and then offered her help, and then she took him up on his offer, and he said, "Hey, well, let's install cameras and a security system." She had no clue that he had full access to those cameras and was stalking her. Man, that is some serial killer ish right there. I don't care what anybody says. If he wouldn't have gotten caught for this, if he wouldn't have dropped that sheath, we may be having the same conversation right now about an unknown person who has already committed their next murder. And the way he travels from coast to coast like that, man, he may have other victims. I mean, the FBI said it themselves. Most serial killers are truckers, long haul truck drivers. And there's a reason for that, because they can kill at random. What's up, Timmy? He would be better served with a plea. I'm really curious to see what his defense has planned. I mean, what could they possibly say? Even no matter what they said, they could have 6 witnesses that put him somewhere else. Why is his sheet there? Which one is more powerful? Let's say a witness who puts him somewhere completely somewhere else, or that knife sheet with his thumbprint and DNA on it. Which is the better hand? Rain Dancer says, to be honest, I think there is something weird. I don't think police did anything wrong, but maybe I am just crazy and it's always hard to believe that someone does something so terrible. Well, that's what it is, Rain Dancer. It's because you're a normal person. Like even us, like demented types who are all into true crime and all super curious, right? Even us, with all of this exposure to the true crime and stuff, can't even really fathom it, how horrible it is. I think there's something inside you that kind of stops you from really going too far. Maybe even for your own sanity. But yeah, I mean, we cannot grasp what those 4 students went through or any of these victims. You know, it's pure horror. Either that or we're just completely desensitized. Who knows? Farmer says, how do you slaughter 4 with a knife, yet not one spot of blood? I thought there was plenty of blood. You mean on his person? Farmer says, I don't believe he did it. Yeah, we might need to go through that probable cause again. I'm going to read it again tonight. We might be doing a live stream on that. I mean, what could they possibly have up their sleeve? It just doesn't make any sense. But I'm trying to go through the list of evidence that they have. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is open and shut. Remember, he went home and he was taking all of his fucking garbage out in latex gloves, and his own sister reported him, saying, I think this is strange. My brother just came back from that location and he's walking around taking out the trash and walking around the house wearing latex gloves. Boom. How do you explain that? That means he's definitely, playing it like a chess game, trying to look a few moves ahead. Look into who owned that house. Sounds like a conspiracy. I'm listening. Tell me, who owns that house? And why were they trying to knock that shit down? That was a little sus. I don't like when they do that. They should wrap it in plastic. Or actually, they should try to figure out a way to pick it up and take it out of there without disturbing anything inside. Don says, Farmer, don't you find it interesting that in every case, Delphi, Evansdale, etc., drug rings are always the theory, and it never turns out to be that? Well, the thing is, Farmer brings up a good point. Let's say he didn't expect Ethan. That means there was like kind of like a weird fight, a lot of movement, and with all like multiple victims with extreme wounds. Why wasn't there any blood? He must have been completely covered and then taken everything off before he got into his vehicle. That's the only way. He must have taken everything off of himself and put it in a bag, sealed the bag, and then got into the vehicle. That's the only way. And even then, probably would have had something on the bag. From the bag to the vehicle. Yeah, that's a good point. But I don't know if that's a true statement. I'll have to look into it, and I don't know if they could be withholding some of that information. He would know that, though, studied it, probably had planned for a while, so nothing would be in the car or house. Yeah. It's like he got all those parts right, but he made that fatal error. And they got his ass. See, you creeps, you can't get away with it, even when you plan it and you're really smart. So don't do it. Oh, yeah. Because remember, we went over the probable cause affidavit, and the way he left, according to his cell phone information, I believe it was, he like went way out of the way. And where he turned around at, there's this big river right there. So I'm hoping they went and searched that area. Because he went way out of the way and then started coming back up to where he was heading home. But right where he turned around, there's a river right there. And as far as I know, they have not found that knife. I bet you he dumped it somewhere out there. Don says he thinks he's smarter. I don't think he thought Ethan was there. Yeah, I wonder if he's kind of creeped into that house before, like when there's a party like dressed all in black like he was. Maybe that's what he was doing. Maybe he was already in that house like multiple times, walking around at night being all creepy. Stephen McDaniel did that. You guys remember that creep with the big fluffy afro? He lived across the street and went to school with the girl. And he got the maintenance key and he would sneak into her house and videotape her. And then one day she woke up and he panicked and that's when he killed her. But he had been doing it for a long time. It started out with him kind of like peeking through the windows and video with a video camera. If you guys don't know anything about that case, oh man, that is a really creepy one. The way he looked in the interrogation room, they'd ask him a question, he'd be like, I don't know. Like, what the fuck? It's a Stephen King movie. Did you hurt her? I don't know. It's the weirdest shit ever. I don't think Ethan had a chance. Totally surprised and blitzed. Remember, Bethany saw a naked guy leave the house. It wouldn't be impossible. Stephanie says nobody framed him with the sheath because his DNA was never in the system, so it would be impossible to plant. I don't know. I mean, the killer could have had his knife, stolen his knife, taken his knife, used his knife. And then just dropped it. Beach Fairy says, wasn't it under one of them? To be fair, even if it was just next to them, you'd be a little distracted from the horrific scene, I'd imagine. Well, yeah, just like Ethan, if he heard a commotion, he probably thinks it's just some kind of college scuffle or, come on, guys, nobody's expecting a maniac, right? That's the problem with true crime, and that's what frustrates the hell out of me. You can't see it coming. It's just, you're just not expecting it. It's so random. And when you do see it, you can't even believe it. You have no clue what you're even looking at. He could have easily thought, man, this is just some stupid fight going on, or some drunk idiot that woke up, and didn't realize where he was or something. You have no idea there's some madman with a 12-inch blade running around in your home. Nobody is expecting that. Yeah, Farmer, I'm going to have to look into it a little bit more. So are they having that presser right now or no? Let me check. I don't see anything. Well, keep me posted. Well, guys, it's going to be about a 5-10 minute warning. Catch up on the chat. CJK says exactly why he turned off his GPS and went into the forest to hide that knife and his clothes. Yeah, they need to go ahead and find that turning point, and they need to search that entire area. Like, they need to really search. Well, probably that whole entire area. That entire path he took, I would search that entire edge of those roads. Do that shit in shifts. I bet you they'll find that blade. I could easily just see him driving and just whoosh, right out the window. Thinking they'll never find that. Oh, yeah, I do remember that farmer. He says, "Am I the only one?" See, but you got to remember that's conspiracy stuff, though. Like, yeah, you got to assume like maybe he isn't the one. Maybe he's like the driver or something. Yeah, he did ask that. I remember that. My ears perked up. Like, what? What's going on, Leslie? Yeah, I don't remember anything about the naked guy either. Beachfrey says, I think it was heroin, Don. But yeah, I think he had a heroin addiction. Is that what you're talking about? That'll make you lose weight for sure and maybe go insane, though not convinced he wasn't always a little insane. Yeah, I get those incel vibes. Usually people that become incels are like they might seem fine on the outside, but they have some kind of weird self-hatred towards themselves, pointed inward. Yep. And I guarantee that's the frustration with most of these real investigators out here on these crime scenes, forensic scientists. Like, what the hell? Looking at that crime scene, it's like, what would motivate? First of all, it's like no normal person is ever going to do something like that. So you're already starting like in a place that's so beyond the norm. And then you're supposed to be proficient from that point on. It's impressive. Yeah, that does make sense. I've never heard of it, but yeah, that's what I thought of. Yeah, maybe that's why there was nothing. Maybe he even took a shower. I don't know. Criminals have done that before. They cleaned up. They'll clean up at the crime scene. Some will even jump in the shower. Thanks. Yeah, I'm going to look into it myself as well. I don't need any predisposition. Yeah, you probably like that dog. What's weird is a lot of crazy people, they hate people, but they love like animals, It's like babies and animals, but humans, no, that's it. Or adult humans, or even anybody older than a baby. Can't remember what they call that, but there's an actual word for it. Thanks, Don. Starts to stack. You stacking them pancakes. If you're going to send me anything, it better be syrup. Or at least butter. Yeah, I wonder if he could have quickly buried it, dropped it down a drain. I feel like he may have been panicked. He may have gotten out, tossed it like in some water, or tried to throw it away from the road, maybe. Yeah, those are the vibes I'm getting. Yeah, and the thing is like most of these guys who are incels, they really weren't mistreated by women. And there was probably like lots of women that wish they would come up to them, and just say, "Hi, my name is Ficka Ficka." But they don't care. They really don't like women. They hate them. It's like a big excuse. It's some weird psychological stuff going on there. Like you can't even begin to grasp. Like you got to know what the hell you're talking about. It's intense. If you even try to grasp it for a second, it is like a twisted web of I can't even begin to explain it. Yeah, and the first name, the person I'm thinking of is that Elliot Roger guy. Yeah, thanks for participating in the chat, Vanilla. Work and travel has prevented me from seeing these. Good vibes and happiness to all here. Thank you. See, was that so hard? Spread some love around. Some good vibes. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here.
You say you want to stay out of the troubles.
Aye.
If you can prove it.
I'll become a member.
Until you prove it, the answer's no.
No.